Hey, how's it going, guys? Drew Creal here, bringing you another Fusion Friday video. In this video, I've got my friend Mark Jones. He's a guitar player and he's playing a solo on this track that I wrote and recorded. Mark has a really unique sound, a really unique way of playing guitar that I'm excited for you to see. He also plays acoustic guitar for Clay Walker, the country artist. And that's not the only kind of music that he plays, obviously, which is why he's on Fusion Friday. He's a great jazz player, and just in general, just a great person to be around, very encouraging to other musicians. And at the end of the video, I've got a about 20-minute interview with Mark where we talk about a range of different things. One of the things that we talk about is how coronavirus is affecting musicians and service industry folks right now. There's a lot of canceled tours, a lot of people that had plans of going on tour and making a little bit of money. That's not happening right now, so a lot of people are being forced to adapt and try different things. And I would just encourage you to support whatever artist that you like. And try to buy a t-shirt or donate to them if you can. And as of right now, which is Thursday morning, it's the 19th today, and basically every restaurant and bar in Nashville is closed right now, with the exception of some that are doing like takeout orders. And I was out driving around last night, and it was very dark and just really weird, especially after the tornado that hit here just a week prior. So we're definitely living in some weird times, unprecedented in my lifetime. And so I figured it's time to make some more music. And so I've been just quarantined at my house, playing guitar, working on a range of different things, guitar related. And also, I wanted to let you know that if you enjoy what I do here with Fusion Friday, I have a Patreon that you can consider donating on a monthly level. I'm also going to try to set it up for one-time donations too, if that's more your style. But I'm going to be releasing a lot of guitar lesson content on there, and early access to Fusion Friday, Helix patches, just a number of different special content that I'm not going to put on YouTube. If you're a monthly supporter, you'll get access to all that stuff. So consider checking out my Patreon. I've got a link in the description below. Without further ado, let's hear some music. Have a good one. Thanks. What's up, everybody? I'm Drew Creal, and this is Fusion Friday. And today we've got Mark Jones on the show. And Mark played an awesome solo on the track that you just heard, and he's an excellent guitar player. And so I wanted to get him in here to talk to you guys and give you some advice on if you're interested in being a touring guitar player or professional musician, all that stuff. And the first question I had for this guy is, how has the coronavirus affected your tour schedule and all that stuff?
Sure. Well, for me, it hasn't really affected my schedule very much. The artist I play with, we only had one show in March, so that did get canceled, but not missing too much there. Actually, it was an Opry show, so it would have been a big one, but it's okay. A lot of our peers have been really struck down by it. I'm just grateful I'm kind of in a spot where it's not affecting me that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
That's good. So can you tell us who you play for?
Yeah. So I play for an artist named Clay Walker. He country artist, strum acoustic guitar. My buddy Chris holds down the lead. He's an excellent guitar player. This is Fusion Friday, but y'all should check out Chris Richards. He's amazing.
Yeah, man. That's, I'm sure everybody's sort of gathered that you're multifaceted. You don't just strum acoustic, and that's one of the things I really like about Mark is that he's a student of jazz, and he's a great jazz player. He's interested in getting better. I'm really driven towards hanging out with people like yourself. So
same, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. So how do you think coronavirus is going to play out, man? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Sure. I watched the Rogan interview, and I'm pretty on board with that. I think we're kind of expecting a bad spot the rest of the year, but I don't know. A lot of us are young and healthy, so I don't think it's going to be much more than a really bad cold or some flu-like symptoms for a couple weeks. You get it, you're out, and then after that you're back in the game. I kind of think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm really mainly concerned with the people that make their money, in the service industry, like people that work at the bars and restaurants. Like, for those of you that aren't familiar with Nashville or have never been to Nashville, it's all restaurants and bars. And unless you have like some kind of corporate job, which there are quite a few of those here, like a lot of healthcare here, a lot of like we got the Lyft headquarters. There's a company called House that has a massive like customer service place. So if you don't work any of those jobs, you work at a bar, or if you're a musician or a guitar player, they're canceling all the shows right now. So for the next 2 to 3 weeks, no one's going to be playing shows. And I would imagine that all of the guys that play downtown on Broadway, none of those cats are probably playing for the next couple weeks. Maybe they are. Maybe they're down there right now, but it seems like they're...
Man, apparently Whiskey Row's going hard still.
Really?
Yeah. Chris Ferrara posted something, or maybe it was Dustin Black, but I saw Chris had reshared it. And, yeah, they were going hard at Whiskey Row, so...
That's good. I know there was some friends of mine put on a Metal for Nashville show, because we just got hit by a tornado, right? So so they're raising money for that, and it was just all like 2000s metalcore kind of stuff, and a bunch of people came out to that show. So
it's crazy, man. It's a crazy time.
So can you talk about some of your influences as a guitar player? Like maybe talk about some of your early influences, and then some of the people that you're into now.
Sure, man. We've got a few of the same ones: Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Yngwie, Paul Gilbert. I don't know. Did you listen to Paul a lot?
I listen to like Racer X and Mr. Big and stuff like that. So.
Yes, man. I took guitar lessons from a guy at a church growing up. It was kind of my parents forced me to do something in 7th grade, so started there. And instructor didn't really inspire me. Sorry, Phil, if you ever see this, but just didn't, man. Anyways, they moved me to the rock guy. Something happened, Phil quit or something. So they moved in this rock guy named Greg, and he was shredding, and he had long hair, and like Ibanez guitar is awesome.
Yes.
And man, one day he played played Viking Kong by Racer X, and there's a solo like guitar X there where Paul Gilbert just annihilates, and yeah, when I heard that, I was like, that's it. I want to shred, and so all those guitar shredders I just mentioned. In addition to like AC/DC, went through Van Halen phase, just all like the rock stuff that like white America would grow up with at that time, for like 70s, 80s. But yeah, I like 90s stuff too, man. So yeah, I didn't go through anything but rock stuff till I went to Atlanta Institute of Music. I met a player named Ben Forehand there, and Ben was the first guy I think I ever saw like play blues, and he was the best player. He was better than a lot of people there. Yeah, seeing Ben really inspired me. He was into like Larry Carlton, Jimmy Herring, so those guys got brought in to my regular listening at that point. And yeah, let's see. Tried to like jazz at that point. It didn't work. I tried for like three or four more years to like jazz. Still wasn't happening. And I moved to Austin. And all the cats that I liked, like they could really play. Even though I wasn't watching them on jazz gigs, they just played different. And couldn't find it. They could all play jazz. A lot of them say UNT or Berkeley. And yeah, so slowly, like it started coming to my ear, and I started liking it more and more. And I don't know, the last few years, I finally discovered stuff to my taste that I like. Pat Metheny, Tim Miller, Jonathan Kreisberg, like who else? I like Near Felder. Been listening to him lately. You ever check out Near?
I have not.
Oh man, he's awesome. There was this solo he played. Like the whole section, all he played was like one note, and it was a flat 9 over like a major chord, and it was great. It was so cool. But
yeah, rhythm is everything with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool, man. So since you're like how many dates, like how many days on the road are you touring like out of the year?
Sure. So we did. I hopped in with Clay last year towards summer, and I think I got in about 50 dates with him. And then we had a meeting at the beginning of the year, projected to do I think between 80 and 90. So yeah,
so that's quite a bit, man. Are you playing with anybody else?
As of right now, no. I study Muay Thai a lot. Shout out Nashville MMA and or training camp, whatever we're calling it. But yeah, I like our artists touring schedule because it allows me to be in time a lot, or in town a lot, and I just kind of train a lot.
And in time.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite parts about being on the road?
Oh man, snuggling up in my bunk and listening to music. It's I get really routine in town. There's only so much stuff I can do. When I'm on the road, it's kind of sorry, in town I can do a lot. On the road, there's only so much stuff I can do. Right. So, I like to I can relax on the road at the end of the day. I just listen to music. It's great. Or read close to 20 books last year on the road. That was nice.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Got any recommendations for books?
Oh, man. Read Death of a Child, like some heavy stuff.
Wow. Okay.
There's a book called Attached that's really good.
All right.
Yeah, it's a relationship book.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And playing shows is obviously super fun.
Yeah, I've seen you post some videos, man. Like, people are packed out to see Clay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Clay had a bunch of hits, and this is, I guess, one of the first times I've been in a band where, I guess second time, but with this size crowds where people are singing all the words of the tunes. It's nice.
It is fun. It's super fun, man. I only got to, I was in a metal band in 2012, and that was really fun, to tour and see people getting into the music, and breakdowns about to start, and people are getting fucking amped and
how many
stuff.
So were y'all doing 5 bands on a bill type thing, or 2 or 3?
Yeah, there would be a tour package of 2, sometimes 3 bands, and then there would be a couple locals. So yeah, sometimes as many as 6 bands. Way too many bands.
That's epic, man.
But the 20-minute sets or 25-minute sets.
You just go hard, your best songs for 20 minutes. And
yeah, it's just a quick, just show up and play, and
sometimes you could play longer, but almost never. And we had that set down. Like, there's no room for any. It just the drummer would get the click going, and that's it, man. Like you wouldn't even. It would be over before you knew it,
dude. So I got a question about that. Let me play interview for a second.
Fine.
So Chris Richards and I have been on this thing. We both like metal. Chris is the other guitar player for Clay. Chris sends me a lot of metal clips, and man, we watch these mosh pits. Like, they'll be running on stage, just moshing. Like, there's a guy. This is some band in Canada. The guy was just doing front flips on the stage. He'd land on his back, get right back up. No, like, he didn't even make it off the stage. Like, he just front flip, land, get back up. This went on for like 30 seconds. Do y'all experience a lot of just people coming on stage and going for it, or?
God, it's been so long since I've done, like, I mean, I've seen just about everything you could imagine at a show, but yeah, you get stage divers, and then sometimes you'd be at a venue where no stage diving was allowed, but people would still try to anyway, and then those people would get in trouble.
Okay.
But it just depends on the vibe of the show. I mean, we played a lot of shows where there was hardly anybody there, but it was always fun to play to a bigger crowd where people are doing that kind of shit, just going for it. But
that's sick.
Yeah, it's super fun. I mean,
what rig do you bring it? Like, do you have a bunch of cabinets or?
Back then, we each. I had a 5150, which is kind of like the amp for that style, hardcore metal. Actually, I think I had a 6505, so like the same thing pretty much. But yeah, I think I had that, and then an orange cab that we shared with like another band. Dude,
that's brutal.
Bring two 412s. And a small pedal board, which I think I used the super overdrive and a noise gate. That's pretty much it. And then I had a delay for a couple lead parts. That's it, dude.
Nice.
But what are you playing through these days with Clay and with other
yeah,
things?
Man, I bought a Fractal Axe 8 a couple years ago, and like, man, that thing was just the answer. Like, before I even used it, I left my house with a backpack. And that was it, like backpacking the guitar, because the Axe 8 has all the effects and amp simulation built in.
And that's, by the way, that's what you heard in Mark's solo, is this Axe 8 preset that he has. Mm-hmm. If anybody's interested in getting that preset, maybe just talk to Mark on Instagram, and he can probably let you know what's up. But is that like a Soldano amp, or like what kind of model is it?
Oh man, I actually don't even remember. I just know how I have the delay set up in it. Which I didn't even use on the track because Drew put them in.
I put some other crap on there, but
they sounded awesome.
It sounded good. Your playing was what made it sound good.
Oh man,
the delay is just literally a press of a button. Yeah, man. So, what are some things that you're currently working on as a guitar player? Like, what do you kind of like? What's the goal for you? Like, what would be the ultimate gig for you? And what do you want to be able to do?
Sure. In terms of playing, I mean, my practice goals come to mind pretty instantly. I want to hear it before I play it. Some people don't focus on... There's like a lack of focus on getting your ears good. It might be from Instagram. It probably is a lot to do with that. Just how we learn music these days. We watch to learn music, and we don't listen for it. So I'm like way guilty of this, and I'm trying to fix that thing. Always trying to get better time, as far as goals, I like my gig now. I hope just Clay continues to play that many dates a year, and I mean, it's funny, I strum acoustic guitar on that gig, but I have a blast doing it. It's super fun,
Yeah, if you're interested in getting better at guitar, just pick up an acoustic for a while and play.
Yeah.
It'll make you start picking. If you're like a legato guy like I am, first thing you're going to do is stop doing that and start getting your right hand going. So
yes. That thing takes a lot of strength to play. And there's no pedals to hide behind or anything. And
what kind of acoustic are you playing out there?
I think it's a Martin. I think it's a 00. I don't know.
Is it your own guitar? Or did they let you use it?
No, I do own it. Clay has some... We've been in debate about this on stage. Is it a gut string or a nylon string? I always think it was a nylon string. They call it a gut string. But yeah, Clay's music has a lot of tunes with that. And thankfully he provides one, so that's awesome. I didn't have to go out.
Oh, a nylon string.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's got
Why
like
is
some
that?
he's got like some Spanish style intros, some tunes that require it, and
Huh.
yeah, Clay's like really in touch with his music, and he wants it as close to the record as possible. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he bought the guitar for us to
I mean,
play. You know,
that's important, dude. Like you go to a show and you wanna, and if the only representation of the music you have is that recording, that's kind of like what you want to hear. You know?
Yeah.
Unless you're seeing a jam band or something, that's a different story. Or improvisers, but
you know, and even if you're not a musician, you can tell just something is different. You may not be able to articulate what was going on, but I don't know, it's like you ever see a live version of one of your favorite songs, and either it's better or it's
Sounds
not
like
as good. And
yeah, it sounds awful.
yeah, oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yep. Well, dude, can you walk us through some of your guitars? We got one of these right here.
Yeah.
So what's the story on this thing?
Man, so this is my workhorse.
I'm gonna hand it to you.
Yeah, I had to tell you before this, but I've played this pretty much since I moved to Nashville. It started out as an American, so it started out as a much nicer guitar, and I just traded stuff off, and
You got all the sounds, all those pickups, man. Jeez.
yeah, man, it's so yeah, it started out as American Standard. Then I didn't like the neck on the American Standard, so I traded for this. I don't even know what it is, but it's on there. It feels good. It's fat.
Warmoth or something like that.
Yeah, it's either Warmoth or All Parts. Yeah, I think it's got a bone nut that got replaced at some point. I replaced tuning keys with locking tuners.
You got the Spurtzels. I love those.
Yeah, you know, for restringing, it's not as quick as the other ones, or at least the way I do it.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't rap. You're rapping your.
That's the way I do it, bro.
To each his own. To each his own. But for me, when I use those tuners, I just
Put 'em
just straight through. I've never had an issue, but
I give like no fucks about, like, it's missing the key, like it's missing one.
Yeah,
But
that's, I mean, that way you know those strings aren't coming off of there.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge fan of locking tuners. Just if you ever got to change a string, it's just whoosh, you know.
I should do that. I should find that piece. It's probably in my old gig bag, so it's gone. I threw it away. Oh well. But as far as pickups, there is one cool thing. So my buddy Dusty Gregg, or James Gregg, we call him Dusty. He's out of Texas. He is a killer. I mean, he builds. Let's see. He started off building amps, and then he started building guitars and pickups and everything. I think he builds pedals too. He's just somehow a jack of all trades, like master of all type guy.
Cool.
But yeah, he built at least this pickup. I think he may have built this one too. Sorry, buddy, I can't remember. But yeah, this thing sounds so good. And then
Is that a coil split?
yeah,
That one?
yeah, it's like split, so it's got a humbucker or single coil. And you know, in the line of, like, you know, for Clay, I just strum acoustic, and like the stuff I work on is often more jazz based. But aside from that, I do a lot of sideman gigs where I'm playing bar stuff, and I just need a lot of sounds. So I need coil tap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got Seymour Duncan in the neck. I don't know. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, then I mean, dude, this is like gaff tape on this guitar. Because my strap kept coming off. I didn't realize they had like strap things you could buy, so I just taped it on, and yeah, I don't
Nice,
know.
dude.
It doesn't even have a back plate. There's like no screws.
Yeah, I mean, it's just practical, man. I think people forget, like, I mean, guitar players, we just obsess about equipment and stuff, but, you know, I think about great guitar players, they change guitars all the time because it's just a tool. It's like, what do I have, you know, like, you know, I just need an instrument to make music with. At least that's like kind of the Holdsworth way of thinking about it, but there's other cats that, you know, like Steve Vai has his flows and his very specific guitars that he's connected to.
Pia and like, yeah. I mean, I saw Wayne Krantz at City Winery a couple months ago. It was 1 month ago. But he, man, his pedal board, it wasn't even a board. It was awesome. It was just pedals
just lays
lined
them out
up
on the ground.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, Steve's one of the best guitar players on the planet.
Yeah, Wayne he's the best.
I think a lot of people, I mean, Drew, you sound fucking awesome, dude. But this isn't a bash at you. But man, a lot of people like spend so much time buying gear when it's like, it sounds here. And especially here too, the pick does matter. It's like, old Tim Miller always said, that's the start of your sound. That's where you pick the note. And
Yeah. What are you using for picks, man?
man, I use these prime tones. It's like a 1.3 sculpted plectra. They're cheap. You know, Blue Chip is just too expensive, and I'm gonna lose it. They're like 30. I think they're between like 20 and 50.
And that's the same kind of vibe that they're doing with the prime tones.
Yeah.
The Blue Chip thing.
Yeah, they just tried to recreate them. It's got a really nice bevel. It's smooth and dark and warm. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Pass this guitar over here. I'm gonna hand you a different guitar because I want you to talk about
Sure.
the one that you used in the solo, which is most people have probably never seen a guitar like this.
Yeah.
And I guess we're still plugged
You know,
in.
you can plug in because it's one of those cables.
So tell us about this thing, man.
Yeah, so I'm a big Tim Miller fan. This used to belong to him. I was in the market I wanted an ergonomic guitar, and they're kind of pricey. So I went on Reverb, and I've been checking for a couple months, and yeah, this just popped up one day, and it was on the low end of the price spectrum, and I instantly recognized it, and yeah, I just made an offer, bought it. So I also didn't check with Tim before to see if he was the owner. I don't know, I just assumed probably is.
Someone advertised it as one of his old guitars.
Yeah, like his old student selling it. Maybe I was just naive or didn't care. I don't know, but I wanted it and bought it. Then I checked with Tim afterwards. We had some correspondence through email, and yeah, he said it was his. I asked him, why'd he let it go? Because it's such a cool instrument. I mean, Drew, you played it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really it's a really amazing guitar because it just sits right on your leg, and without having to move the guitar or tilt it in any direction, it's already where it needs to be, and you just want to hug it, and the scale length is a little shorter, and so you can reach the chords a lot easier, but it's, in terms of the playing experience, it's unlike anything you'll ever, even with all of the modern kind of looking, the Strandberg kind of thing, it's something even more special than that, I would say. Because it's hollow. Show them how fat that thing is.
Yeah, I mean it's not the width of a normal guitar.
It's really fat, and hollow body instruments are that's, to me, that's where the tone is at. Mm-hmm. Solid body guitars, some of them might have more sustain.
Yeah.
But when you have a guitar that has that open, with the big cavity inside of it, your chords are gonna ring a lot longer, and so are your notes. And to me, it's more inspiring to play chords that have something behind it.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed with this thing, especially when it comes to writing music. It's just been, it hasn't been a struggle to find the next section on this. I can just write. It's really easy. I can finish a tune way easier than on other guitars.
Yeah, that thing will save your back.
Yeah,
for sure too. But so what's the? Tell me about this guitar some more. What make is it? Sorry.
Yeah, so it's made by Canton.
Okay, I've heard of them before.
Yeah, Rick Canton builds them. I've never talked to him. I think I emailed him. He never emailed me back. I guess he's hard.
Rick?
Yeah, why,
Come on, dude?
He'll probably comment on this. But,
he's got too many other nerds to respond to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, these are amazing guitars. There's another guy in town that I know that has a couple 7-string ones like this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's, to me, that's that would be the ultimate. But
sick. Yeah, they're cool, man. They're yeah, it's like this or a Klein. I can't say I'd buy a Strandberg or a Strandberg. I don't know. I can't explain why I don't like the way those look, but I like the way this looks. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, Strandbergs are cool. I'm kind of way too weird about certain things, but I never want to play anything that someone else has.
Yeah.
So I'm more attracted to Kleins and things like this because you just don't see as many of them. Whereas now you just everywhere you got Strandberg, which I think is cool. I think it's great that they kind of carved out a part in the marketplace for those ergonomic guitars, but I don't know. I'm never into what I want to do my own thing, I guess, and maybe that's self-righteous, but
hey, man, pave your own way.
But
yeah.
Well, dude, I have a couple more questions, but we've been talking for a while, so I'll try to pick a good one here.
Okay.
So what advice would you give a guitar player who's looking for gigs? The guy that just moved to Nashville, that really just wants to get up on stage and play.
Yeah, one in Nashville, man, everybody's really good. So, and you're probably not moving here unless you're pretty good too, or at least serious about it. But I would say, man, wear some cool clothes, have a good attitude.
Yeah.
Tattoos help you get gigs. This is like for real. Man, yeah, a lot of it's about the look. Because a lot of the songs we're playing, now not on my gig. My gig actually has some tough stuff. But a lot of like the newer stuff is just, you're just power chords. It's kind of rock, pop stuff. Which like all of us can do. So, just, have a good attitude. It's about who you know. Yeah, have you seen, like, there's 3 type of players. There's ones that, like, are really good, but not really cool. And then there's ones that are really cool, but not really good. And then you've got...
I'm the first one, dude.
Yeah. But it's like, that's
Maybe.
the way it works,
Maybe.
If you're not going to be cool, you need to be really good, And if you're really cool, you don't have to be really good. Yeah, I guess you probably want in the middle somewhere. Or be really good and really cool. So.
Yeah, I think you're just being really honest, because that is what it's about, man. It's like you gotta look a certain part, and with most higher profile gigs, you have to be in a certain age range, or at least look a certain age. Like we're both like 31, 32, somewhere around there. So we're just like, when you get past 35, it's like people aren't gonna hire you to go play for Demi Lovato or something.
Right,
like that.
right.
You're not gonna get that gig because they want a younger guy up there.
Yeah. Man, also, like, you can get fired for not drinking and partying with the band. So don't think you can't do drugs or alcohol, because there's a lot of bands where that's what they want, Shit.
Yeah. So, which is why, like, I mean, I have not taken that route as a guitar player. People ask me all the time, like, where are you playing at, man? What kind of gigs are you playing? I'm like, that's not really what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So, and I'll keep doing this, even if 50 people watch these videos, man, I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing it. But yeah, dude. So what advice would you give to somebody who's not interested in getting a bunch of tattoos and drinking with the band and doesn't care about all that stuff? Like, someone who really is passionate about the music, what would you suggest that, like, a young person does if they just want to pursue music, like 100%, be the best guitar player?
Oh man, I would try and I would practice your ass off, and then try and find people you enjoy hanging around with and playing with. Like, it's part of the journey. You want to enjoy it with people. I'm trying to think if I ever thought about that growing up. Like, was Satriani friends with the guys in the band? I never focused on that thought. It's always like, oh, Joe's so good. But especially if you're in a touring band, I mean, the show is 30 minutes to, well, sometimes 25. That's even sometimes 15. Either way, it's a very short amount of your day, and you got to hang around these people. So, like, find people who are cool, Yeah, that'd probably be it.
Cool, man.
Yeah, because we already understand the practice part. That's common knowledge.
But it's funny. It's funny that you say that that's common knowledge, because it's the last thing that any guitar player wants to do is actually practice.
They want to get the girls, right?
You want to get the girls. You want to get the gear. You want to get everything else. Every other thing you're going to work on, but you're not going to practice. That's going to be the last thing that you do.
Yeah, man.
And at least that's what I've observed. Just playing with,
sure.
recording with other people, playing music with other people. It's like, why is that your last ditch effort, is picking up the instrument and practicing? But I don't know.
Man, when I was living in Austin, that was definitely not our mentality. We were all about shedding. There's a group of us. Maybe that's also a jazz scene thing too.
It's a jazz scene thing,
it's
for
kind
sure.
of,
Yeah.
I may not play a lot of jazz gigs, but
well, when I was in college and I was around other jazz players, I wasn't into jazz at the time, but the guys that were, they practiced all the time.
Yeah. That's usually how, like, my social friend group is, music-wise at least.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thanks for playing that awesome solo and coming on the show. And we're not going to shake hands because of coronavirus.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I almost did it too.
But I was like,
Put it back.
Anyway,
Man, thanks for having me.
Thanks,
I appreciate
dude. Yeah,
it,
this was fun, man. So where can people follow you?
Mark B. Killen, Instagram.
Mark B. Killen. Just look it up, Mark Jones.
Yeah, and catch me on Clay Walker shows. Stage left, strumming acoustic guitar.
Hell yeah, dude.
And hey, I get solos too. I get like acoustic solos. They're cool. I think Brett Mason played a bunch of them on the record, so they're
yeah,
they're no
tough
joke.
stuff there.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Bye bye.